What do you think our medal standings are going to be by the end?
I think we're going to be fantastic.
There's a prediction of second.
Yeah.
OK,
after
optimistic,
USA.
optimistic. It was the flag that did it, I think.
I think it was the flag that did it. I think you've got to have hope in your heart. What do you think?
Right. Let's ask the panel. Let's ask the panel. We are joined by Nichi Hodgson and comedian Bruce Devlin. Bruce.
Yes?
What do you think the Olympics are going to pan out like for us? OK, you're optimistic.
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
You have to have optimism.
I think you have to have optimism, don't you? Because otherwise, what's the point? So let's get behind the country, and I agree with you. I think probably second or third either would be respectable.
I think so.
See what you did there, through third in, just in case.
Yeah,
cover all bases.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of sports psychology, isn't it? It's so much in the head, it's not in the body, even though obviously you've got to be ridiculously fit and well-trained to be at the Olympics and in the peak of your performance. But, you know, we've had a pretty good summer sports-wise, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yes.
I think we're better at Olympics than we're, you know...
Although we're not in,
track sports,
football's
we're
not
better at
in the
football.
Olympics. The Brits aren't in the Olympics.
No, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised by that, but I mean, I think we're on a roll, and I completely agree. We've got to be optimistic about it.
I feel like the country needs it as well. I feel like we need something to get behind.
I don't know. I feel like we're having a good summer. I mean, the weather's terrible.
Yeah.
But I feel that it's more optimism.
It's terrible in Paris as well, it seems.
Yeah.
Absolutely diabolical in Paris.
I hope that Greta wasn't watching, because she would have been appalled at all that single-use plastic ponchos.
That's a very good point.
She would have, yeah.
We don't know whether they were recyclable.
Yes, that's true.
I'm sure they were, because the focus of this Games is meant to be sustainability, isn't it? So, you know, at London 2012, when they were building all these amazing aquatic centres and stuff, Paris was like, no, we'll just use what we've got. Yeah.
And they did.
And they did. What did you make of the opening ceremony? Because I can hear you all talking about it in the green room this morning. It's on everyone's lips this morning.
I adored it. It was better than Eurovision. Oh, my goodness. It was all the weird little interjections.
It was weird.
The catwalk that was so camp, the blue Bacchus that came out of the platter pretty much naked, painted. You know, lots of it was kind of inappropriate, but only lasted for 3 seconds at a time, and then it would flash back to something that was kind of more worthy. I loved that beautiful silver tech horse that they had that went up the river that delivered the flag. Did you see that?
I must have missed that.
It's from her tour.
You were working.
It wasn't Beyonce's horse.
Right, okay.
No, but similar vibe.
Yeah,
and then there was the real beautiful horse with the Parisian Olympian riding and the coolest silver suit. And it made me want to go riding again. I'm a really bad rider. And when I was watching it, I was like, gosh, she just looks so incredible dressed like that.
Okay.
It's really inspirational.
Do you think, though, that your comparison was Eurovision?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the right comparison?
Well, for me,
is that saying something about what the opening ceremony was?
I'm the worst athlete of all time. I mean, I go to the gym, I like doing that, but I've got no skills athletic-wise. I just like the performance element of the Olympics.
I think a lot of people are criticising it for not being quintessentially French.
That's what we were saying this morning.
I thought it was French, though.
I thought there was aspects
French
of it
queer
that were
culture, for
French.
sure.
Well, yeah,
for sure.
clearly,
That was well represented,
Yes.
Yes, I felt that their mugs could have been beaten a bit better. Some of the makeup was sketchy at best.
But the rain didn't help.
No, the rain didn't help, did it? But I think the night belonged to Celine. I thought
it did.
a triumphant return and also singing in French.
Controversial that she's not French. French-Canadian.
That's something. Well, it's
She
more
gets
French
the
than us.
pass.
You could say the same about Lady Gaga.
You could say that about Lady Gaga.
Is
but
she French?
Could they not get a French person to sing?
Well, they did
who
have
is
that
that?
delightful French singer singing Imagine, and she had an incredible voice. I actually forget what she's called because I'd never seen her before.
I was hoping they would bring back Vanessa Paradis. And the thing that actually going on about fashion, I wanted a big balloon of Karl Lagerfeld.
I wanted something,
the
yeah.
Chopette.
Chopette, yes.
That would have been incredible.
That would have been
For
good.
me, it didn't scream France. This is what we were saying this
I
morning.
agree.
I think for something like an Olympic ceremony, it's just got to be about the country and the culture. It was very Eurovision.
But wasn't the idea behind it about unifying nations? You know, because you're right, but France always puts itself before everyone else in terms of how it protects its language and all the rest of it culturally. But I feel that they were very generous-spirited in being inclusive of everybody. I liked it.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to be what was the focus last night. Let us know what you made of it. We know that you all have an opinion, gbnews.com/yoursay. But it was marred, wasn't it? Perhaps even overshadowed by what happened on the rails earlier on in that day. Left-wing radicals are some of the groups that are being accused of...
But no one has claimed it
sabotage
as
of the rails,
their own, but everyone is
What do you
pointing
think?
towards the far left. I think until such times as we know, we won't know. I mean, it's all very... But you were saying about Russia, weren't you?
I think Russia is far more likely to be the culprit. I mean...
And would they come forward with it, do you think, if they were...
It completely depends on what their motives are for it. I mean, the whole point is that Putin still cannot believe that Russia has been banned from the Olympics.
Not involved, yeah.
And, you know, after Sochi and all the rest of it, is still spitting teeth about it. It wouldn't surprise me at all, but that's why we've got to talk about it very carefully in the media, I say, saying it might be Putin, because actually we do want to keep the politics out of it, don't... I mean, the whole point of the Olympics is peace. And, of course, it's political because inevitably there are conflicts that are ongoing while the countries are competing against each other in sport. But it would make sense to me that it was them, unless some kind of Islamist terrorist group claims it. But I doubt it.
But they would have claimed it.
To say
Yeah.
there are reasons to believe that none of that might be correct.
Yes.
This is all speculation.
All speculation.
Yeah, and there are reasons to believe that any of the parties, that the aforementioned parties, could have, you know, been responsible for this. There is some school of thought that Putin may have been yearning for a chance to humiliate Macron.
Or it could just be hackers.
Or it could just be hackers,
Could just be boy hackers in a little room somewhere deciding to mess things up for the Olympics.
Oh, like with Microsoft the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, let's turn to something a bit closer to home. This morning we're seeing that Brits are being left hungry for more because they are sneaking out of the Olympic Village to find grub. They're saying that the food is horrible. Now, I knew there was controversy around the beds, but I hadn't heard anything about the food.
No one else, cardboard beds.
Cardboard beds. Sustainability, I was telling you.
But isn't it also to stop the bed hopping, presumably?
I think it's to stop a few things.
Yes, I think that might
Well, anyway, moving on from that.
Be part of
what I
it.
was going to say about the food is only a few days ago we had a story that there was Michelin-starred food being served at the Olympic Village this year because the food has always been so terrible. They've had McDonald's in the past, and don't our athletes deserve more? So what's going on? Is it that our Brits are craving a Macca's or, I don't know, fish and chips or something, and they're not getting that? Or maybe they're just saying it's not enough of it?
Maybe it's about the portions.
But
maybe it's Michelin-starred food.
Well, they're saying here the food is
small.
horrible.
Exactly.
So it can't be portion. You wouldn't describe a portion size as
capital
horrible.
of the world. I'm really surprised.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
We've had that Michelin-starred food promised, and then what? It's not really there.
Nothing. Some mouldy old baguette.
We need some more investigative reporting on this.
Let's pop
I volunteer as tribute. You can send me to the Olympic Village and I'll just eat all the food and try it all out for you. But there are a lot of people, to be fair, 10,500 athletes trying to feed at the same time, and you imagine they'll be wanting the same food at
Well,
same
apparently,
time, right?
apparently the report earlier in the week was saying they were all being given very specific food according to their culture, things they enjoy, and also
and their dietary requirements.
Yeah,
of course, you'd imagine that they all need something completely different.
Completely according to what sport you participate in, your gender, all sorts of factors.
Should we talk modern jargon? This is a story in the Daily Mail this morning. So this is the Cambridge Dictionary has added 3,200 trendy terms in the past year, one of them being the ick, which is a sudden aversion to somebody because of something that they've done.
Yeah, I like the way you
and
pointed
I use it all
at
the
me.
time.
The ick. In Scotland, the ick is called the bulk.
The bulk?
The bulk.
Bulk.
That gives me the dry bulk. That gives me the heave. That makes me physically sick.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
I'm dyslexic and I don't want to run in. I think it's B-O-A-K-E.
Which right.
So that could be a pair of slacks. It could be a drink. It could be food from the Olympic Village. That could give you the bulk. But the ick, yes.
I quite like that as a term.
What?
Yes.
It's part of my daily language now.
Really?
Would you say the ick?
I'd never say the ick.
Would you not?
No, I
would.
sound ridiculous saying most words.
Some people are icky about saying the ick. I mean, the thing is, this is the Cambridge Dictionary. It's not the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary. So, you know, if we're going to be really snobbish about the lexicography going on here, I would say that I'm not that impressed because it's not the real dictionary.
Wow, in the same way it's not a real university.
Absolutely.
I think it's quite concerning that there are 3,200 new words in a year.
Yeah,
I mean, we shouldn't be moving that fast forward.
Gen Z, Gen Z.
I've got to be honest, with an English degree, when I was geeky at university, my dream was to get a word in the dictionary. I'd still love to do that.
You still can,
now.
Nikki.
Still time, isn't there? I do write for a living some of the time. I forget that.
Aim for the stars. You could even end up in the
Right,
Cambridge Dictionary.
What neologism am I going to go? I couldn't possibly go into the list, Bruce.
Okay.
And just one more, we've got 1 minute left. The Obamas giving their backing to the Harris campaign. Now, this was a notable absence, wasn't it, when Kamala Harris said that she should be going for the presidency.
Well,
they took their time to come out with it.
They did. But
And then did it with a splash.
And that was strategic, in my opinion. They were always going to back her. They were just waiting for the right moment to do so.
I think it's to do with that woman that appears on the Lorraine show that reads the asparagus. No,
Yeah,
seriously,
the asparagus
there is a
psychic.
point
No,
to
I
this.
know where you're going with this, yeah.
And she kept throwing it up and it kept coming back as an M. So a lot of people think that Kamala's not necessarily going to be the person. They're going to bring Michelle in as a kind of...
No, but there was a
plot
very eminent professor here this week saying that it's impossible. Michelle Obama doesn't want to do it. She's having a very nice life on all her other projects, and it's just too short a timetable. She'll wait another term.
And then do you think she'll have?
And then maybe next time.
That's what I think as well.
Yeah.
I think we will see it, but not this time.
In our lifetime.
Okay.
I was also shocked to hear that Kamala Harris was 60 years old, or 59.
59.
59.
She looks great.
Girl
She
looks
looks
great.
Looking good.
She looks great.
Dewy skin.
She does look great.
Hair's nice.
Hair's good.
Yeah.
Great hair.
There we go. Well, thank you.
And she's the young spring chicken in this race now, isn't she?
She is.
At 60.
By a long way.
Which is remarkable.
We'll do the maths and tell you the exact figure after the break.
Yes, we will.
Thanks to Nikki and Bruce. We'll catch up with you later on in the show.